Today on SEBA On Demand, we'll be talking to San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Jason Hendrix, who is the co-founder of the Cannonball Memorial Run. So this was a crazy idea that you guys came up with, and I think it's unique and fun. But explain to us a little bit about what the Cannonball Memorial Run is.
Well, the Cannonball Memorial Run started out with myself and co-founder, a friend of mine, retired Sergeant John Bannis, out of the frustrations of officers being murdered in 2016. And John and I decided to do something about it and drive across country and raise awareness to the number of officers being targeted and murdered just because they wore a uniform and a badge.
Obviously, we all kind of take care of our own, but in these travels you realized a distinct need for a national charity to help the Brotherhood. Explain that a little bit more to me.
Agencies throughout the country, large agencies and even some of the smaller agencies, have the ability to support the families of fallen when something tragic occurs. But in these small communities, it's just not there. So we wanted to step in and do something for everybody and not just, our agency, our community.
Explain to me a little bit more about that frustration, why this sparked this movement.
Well, in 2016, Sergeant Marconi from San Antonio Police Department was executed while he was writing a traffic ticket to somebody, shot by somebody uninvolved in the traffic stop. They walked up to him and shot him while he sat in his patrol vehicle writing a citation. We were just fed up, tired of officers being targeted.
Yeah, and a complete ambush, senseless violence, just somebody trying to do their job and feed their family, and all of a sudden they're the target of, like you said, a straight execution. So you guys decided to hop in a car and drive cross country?
Pretty much.
So I know this event has grown a lot in its inception, and there's probably a million memories you have, especially with this shotgun cannonball trip. But if I ask you to think of the most impactful memory you have of the 4 runs that you've made now, what pops into your mind first?
They're all significant events, but one in particular was in Locust Grove, Georgia, to honor Officer Chase Maddox. Chase Maddox was murdered on February 9th, 2018, and his son was born 4 days later. So when we arrived there in April, we met with his wife, Alex, and his father and the rest of his family. And we also got to meet Bodie, who was his newly born son.
Who he never got a chance to meet.
Absolutely. So that, excuse me, talking about that one, that just tears me apart.
Yeah.
And that's that happens time and time again.
It's almost like it's become too common. And I know that was a big thing for you guys, that you don't want these things to be just part of the culture. We want to somehow stop them or get people to not be okay with the execution of police officers, because these aren't just public servants. They're new dads and new moms, or, somebody's son.
They're people.
They're human. Yeah.
Human beings.
It's personal for a lot of law enforcement, but we can see that it's extremely personal for you guys. And not only do you think about it, you've actually put those thoughts and sentiments into action. So if people want to help, what can they do?
If people want to help, they can go to our website and donate. It's cannonballmemorialrun.org, and click on the donate button, and they can make a donation, or they can send a check to the address that's on there. And over 98% of that money goes back to the families of every fallen officer.
So for many people in law enforcement, the worst fears to be realized would be to not come home. I know you have personal experience with, thank God you did come home at the end. Explain to me how that has sparked why you do this.
For me, 23 years ago, I was shot 8 times in the line of duty, and I survived. But each and every day, there are officers that go to work, put on that uniform, and they do not know if they're going to be coming home that night.
And so it's for them that you make this possible so that they can get the support that they need.
It is for them and for their families, and it's a team effort on our part, and we rely heavily on our great people in the communities to help make this happen.